Why play Yone Top Lane? Well, he's a brilliant duelist. He's amazing at both split pushing and team fighting. He deals a good amount of hybrid damage, and he can solo carry games. However, he is slightly weaker in the early game until he has some items behind him, and as a melee champion who dives into the fight but doesn't buy tanky stats, he can be squishy, especially if CC'd. Yone's first passive is his critical strike chance is increased by 250% from other sources. This means if his item grants him 20% crit strike chance, he instead gets 50%. However, his critical hits do deal reduced damage. Also, for every 1% crit strike chance over 100%, he gains additional AD. In addition, his second passive is every other basic attack deals 50% physical and magic damage split. Yone's Q is a small straight line skill shot which deals damage and applies on-hit effects to all enemies hit. If this hits at least one enemy, he gains a stack of Gathering Storm. When he has 2 stacks, his next Q consumes them to become empowered. The empowered Q causes him to dash a small distance and fire a straight line skill shot which deals damage and knocks up all enemies hit. Yone's W is a cone attack which deals mixed physical and magic damage to all enemies hit. In addition, if this hits an enemy, he's granted a shield which is increased for each additional champion hit. Yone's E causes him to dash forward a short distance and leave a spirit of him behind. During this time, he becomes ghosted and gains movement speed. Enemy champions damaged by him during this time are marked, and when he snaps back to his spirit, each mark deals a chunk of damage depending on the amount of damage dealt while he is in his E. When this is recast, or when the ability ends, he dashes back to his body, cleansing himself of all CC. Yone's ultimate is a wide straight line skill shot which after a short delay will dash him along the skill shot, knocking down and stunning all enemies hit, before appearing just behind them. After a short time, all the enemies are pulled together, damaged and knocked up. For combos, a basic trade is to have your Q fully stacked. Engage with your E into your Q, then auto attack, W, auto attack. Then either keep the trade going or snap back. Yone's all-in combo is to use E into Q into basic attack. Then use W into 2 basic attacks before using another Q into another basic attack. Buffer your ultimate as you're snapping back into another auto attacking Q. For matchups, Yone does great into scaling top laners who will easily be able to farm against and 1v1 all game. However, with a weaker early game, he can struggle against strong lane bullies. For runes, take this. With Q adding towards lethal tempo, you stack it incredibly fast. For build orders, start Blade and Pot into tier 2 boots and a Kraken Slayer. After this, a Hull Breaker into an Imp Edge are great pickups before finishing your build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then W then E before maxing Q then E then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Teleport. Starting the game, you're looking to farm hard and take good trades where you can. And one of the easiest ways to scale safely is by taking good trades. Every time you have your E available and your Q fully procced, you are a threat. If you're able to go in and land your empowered Q, the knock up combined with the shield from your W, combined with the fact you can simply snap back to your E whenever you want to, gives you a very favourable trade. When you hit level 6, you now have a large amount of burst damage and great sustain damage, so as long as you have enough room in your lane, land your ultimate and go for the kill. Entering the mid game, you want to take your tower as soon as possible and start split pushing for pressure. Keep pushing in waves to force them to respond to you, and then either start backing off or grouping with your team. Entering late game teamfights, you want to avoid being your team's engage, and play as either the follow-up engage or the assassin role. After a fight has started, focus on getting maximum value out of your E and your ultimate. Either wait for enemies to group together so you can get a multiple person ult, or wait until you can easily get onto the backline and blow them up.